it look okay?
Yes.
Okay, go. Should I just go get you when it's time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Hey, what's up? So every Sunday I do Q&A videos. So in today's video, I'm gonna answer all of your questions from last week. If you have another question for me or Kuba, feel free to ask it in this video and I will get to it next Sunday. And so I'll call Kuba over once I answer all the questions for me, and then he can answer the questions that y'all have asked for him. So first question today, how often do you buzz your head? It's about every week. Kuba just did it last night. We use a beard trimmer. But in general, it's about once a week. And then I have 3 questions about my tattoos this week. Just, is there a story behind any of them? What are they? Why did I get them? So basically, I've done a video about my tattoos before, so I'll post a link to that in the video description. But in general, I don't have any stories behind the tattoos. I got them because they're just decoration. They don't have any deep meaning. And I don't want to just run through a list of all the tattoos I have. I'm not gonna do that. I just have them. They're my tattoos. I like the way they look, and that's why I have them. You can check out that other video if you want to hear like why I don't feel the need to go into all the details behind my tattoos. They're just decoration. All right, next question. How do you charge your phones and laptop when you are not in an Airbnb? We charge them in the van. We have solar panels. So not only do we have little outlets in there, we also have like USB charging areas, so we can charge everything we need in the van. I know you have spent time in the UK. Do you have any plans on visiting in the next 12 months? I don't know right now. I think Kuba is gonna go back briefly for a trip, but I'm not sure when I'm gonna go back there. It's too far in advance to know, I guess. It's possible, but I'm not really sure at this point. More questions on the travel plans. What other countries are you planning on visiting with the van after Greece and Turkey? We can go anywhere in Europe with the van. As far as we can drive legally, we'll do that. And wherever I can get a visa, basically, we'll drive the van to there. We're not discounting any country that's within driving distance. We can just drive anywhere and we'd be happy to visit. So right now I can't really give you a list of countries because I have no idea where we're gonna go. Do you see yourselves going to Turkey, Jordan, or Israel? And do you plan on staying in Europe for your travels? Turkey is one I've wanted to visit for a while now. I'd be happy to visit Jordan and Israel as well. We just don't know when that's gonna happen. But we're not just going to stay in Europe, we're going to travel elsewhere too. And the trip we're doing in February is not in Europe. We want to travel everywhere, so we're not limited just to Europe. With the van though, it probably would be easiest to stay in and around Europe, like Europe, North Africa, and then like east of Europe a little bit. But we're not just limiting ourselves to the van, we can take flights as well, no problem. Have you ever considered editing videos on a professional level for other people? I am flattered that you think I could do that, and I would be happy to do that. But right now I don't have the time for that. So maybe down the road, if I wasn't doing daily videos, that is something that I would be happy to do. But it just depends on the circumstances and like what type of video it is. But I like editing, so I would be happy to do that for someone else. But right now, I prefer to edit my own stuff. So this person is referencing last week's Q&A where I talked about like just the 2 negative experiences I've had since I started traveling abroad. And it was getting my phone stolen in Berlin, and then the roach-infested first-class train cabin that Kuba and I had when we were in Thailand. That was another one. Not terrible situations, but they were just the negative one that stood out in my mind. So this person wants to know how I handle those situations because they tend to be very upset in those kind of situations and it ruins their whole day. I don't know how to answer that question. I just handle them. Like when the phone got stolen, I knew that I would have to contact T-Mobile and let them know that the phone was stolen so they could like, shut the phone down basically so no one else could use it. Just give them notice on that. I also had to contact my insurance company to let them know that the phone was stolen. And not on that day, but I had to file a police report with the Berlin police. I did that online, so it's super easy. I don't know, I wasn't panicked at all. I just went through the steps that I needed to do. And at the time I was staying I spent that day with someone that I met through the couch surfing website. So I was able to use the internet at her place and figure out how to contact my bank and whatever. Or not my bank, my phone company and my insurance company. And then I had to let Kuba know because he was worried because I hadn't contacted him like all day. It was a long day. But yeah, it didn't really stress me out that much. I just went through the motions. I was kind of bummed about getting the phone stolen, but it was handled fine. With the roaches, there was nothing we could do. We had the cabin, there were roaches everywhere, and we just had to deal with it. So we just didn't sleep that night. When we got to Bangkok, the train had broken down, so we had to just walk into town. I don't know, you just suck it up and move on. Because I mean, really, that's only one day. There's no point dwelling on it. And like with the phone getting stolen, there's no point in being upset at all because things like that happen. So being upset's not gonna solve anything. So I just do what I need to do and then move on and focus on the next thing. So that's all I can really tell you. I don't know. Ever considered adopting a dog? We definitely don't want a dog, a cat, any animal at this point in our lives. I don't foresee us ever adopting an animal, to be honest. We don't want the responsibility, and we like our places to be clean, like really clean. So it's definitely not possible for us in the van. We don't want it, and we don't want to commit to having to take care of something when we want to just pick up and go and travel. So we're definitely not interested in that. I like the grapes that hang from the mirror of the van. They're a good symbol for you guys. Just wondering whose idea was it to put them there? I guess it was my idea to put them there. A friend of ours, Ivy, bought them when she was in Japan. She gave them to me when I was still living in Scotland, and so I thought it would be cool to hang them up there. Yeah, it looks kind of cool, but yeah, it's thanks to our friend Ivy. What do you think about minimalism and vegan awareness in the Balkan region or Eastern Europe generally? I don't have many discussions with people about minimalism. A few people have contacted me because they watch our videos and they're interested in minimalism or they're minimalists themselves. We talk about it. But in general, it's not, like, you're not gonna know that someone's minimalist just by walking around and looking at them. So I think I would have to live here for a long time and really meet up with a lot of people to know how people receive minimalism here. Veganism, it's more popular, with every year. There's a huge vegan festival in Zagreb that's going on this weekend, actually. I went to the festival for the past 2 years. It's really cool. In every shop, there's a little vegan section. You can find vegan products everywhere. It might not be as popular as veganism in the UK, but I still think that it's popular to some degree, even in the Balkans. And there's plenty of vegan-friendly restaurants, too, in every place that we visited. But I'm sure in a few years it'll be even more popular because that seems to be how it's going with veganism. The trend is it's gaining in popularity everywhere. That's pretty cool. All right, next question. Is racism as bad in Europe as it is in the States? That's difficult to answer because I haven't been to all of Europe, so I can't speak for the whole continent. What I've seen in the States and in the European countries that I visited, I don't think it's as bad, but racism still exists in Europe. It just might show up differently, but it doesn't seem to be as bad, at least from what I've seen. All right, next question. Do you get blisters on your feet from walking so much? No, we don't get blisters on our feet. We wear comfy shoes, so we don't have to worry about that. Do you experience any muscle aches from sitting in the van for long periods? We don't experience any muscle aches. Sometimes it is kind of uncomfortable sitting in the same position for a long time, especially when I'm editing videos in the van. But in general, we're fine. I guess it's because we're active, we walk a lot. Do you guys ever want to travel to India? Yes, definitely. And the last question for me before I go to Cuba. This person has also been traveling around for the past 15 months. And they say it's always baffling to them when they have to provide an address when booking a hotel or a plane ticket online. They sold their house in the US, they have no American home or address of their own. They've been using a friend's address in Wales, the UK as their mailing address while they travel. So they're just asking, do I have any advice on what address I use when I'm traveling full time, and I guess how to get around that. I have an address in the States, my permanent address. It's one of my sister's homes. If I do need something from the bank, they can send it there or they can send it to me abroad. I've done that before, get my new bank card while abroad. But as far as banking purposes, that's my permanent address. So you do need to have an address of some sort for your banks when you're doing online transactions. There are services, basically your mail is sent to them to this like facility, this company, and they sort your mail and they let you know what mail you've received and they can send it to you to wherever you are abroad. I've looked into those services before and it's something I've considered. And you just pay like a monthly fee and you can choose the address that you use. And I know people in the States who live in RVs, who travel around, that's what they do. That's one of the options. Cuba's also looked into that, so those services exist elsewhere outside of the States. So that's something you could look into if you can't use your friend's address. All right, I guess I'll go get Cuba now. Ugh. I think it's still going. It is. Maybe I should stop it and start it again.
Hello.
All right, we have 3 questions for you. Do you like your new guitar?
Yes, I do. There's a new video, sneak peek of what I'm doing with the guitar on my channel if you want to see it. But yes, I do like it. I managed to set it up the way I like it and it sounds perfect to me.
Do you think in English now or still Polish?
I think mostly in English, yeah.
I guess this is one question, kind of two. What motorcycles have you had and do you miss riding?
I start from the second one.
Okay.
I don't miss riding. I thought I would, but I don't. I'm just doing something else. I had many bikes and really it's almost impossible for me to count them out and say which ones I had because I had so many and I've used all different types of bikes. I used sports bikes, kind of touring bikes, like pretty much anything that's there. I've worked in a motorbike dealership, so I was able to buy and try many things. So
could you give like a rough number about how many bikes you've had? It's like several dozen, or because you would change multiple bikes in a year, right?
Yeah, sometimes I would have like 3 at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's well over 30.
Yeah, okay.
I think
cool.
It's well over 30, yeah.
Okay, well that's it then. Yeah, so in this video, some of the questions are about our travel plans, and just to reiterate, we're not going to really advertise our travel plans anymore because they change so often. So we just know that we're leaving here on the 13th, moving back into the van, and then we're not going to say where we're going right now because we don't really know.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure where we're going to go, but things change all the time, so we're not sure. And like some of the questions were like, where are we going to go several months down the road? We have no idea where we will be. So I can't really explain what countries we're gonna see and stuff like that.
You'll see when it happens.
Yeah. And regarding our trip in February, we will reveal that later, but probably not until February. You'll just have to be patient for that. That's why it's a secret trip. So I'm not just gonna give it away right away.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you have any questions for us, ask them in this video, in the comments under this video. If you ask it in another video, I'm probably gonna miss it because I'm just gonna go back to this video and then check the comments there when I do next week's Q&A. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye!